Let me make something clear. It doesn't matter how important you are to me. The moment you show that I'm not important to you, everything changes. If you don't care about me or value me, then I no longer see you the same way. I've learned that loyalty and respect matter the most. If you don't appreciate my worth, then I don't need you in my life. I won't waste my time on people who don't value me. I only focus on those who truly care and show respect. Latiankara asked me to tell you that you should stay blessed and stay focused. Amen.
All right, welcome everyone. We are diving deep today, really deep, into some pretty inspiring stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one.
Me too. Strong African Women, right, that's what we're calling it. This whole season is going to be 12 episodes. This is episode 1. And we're going to be exploring some pretty amazing quotes from just extraordinary women all across the continent.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it'll be great.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible the impact these women have had just, I mean, in their own communities, but like globally too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And, speaking of impact, listeners can actually support this whole mission of empowerment.
Oh, right.
Yeah. You can actually donate through Latian Kirashu's direct line. I have it right here. It's plus 255-0682-55-651. You can WhatsApp or call.
Amazing.
Yeah, every bit helps. Okay, so first quote. This is from Samia Suluhu Hassan. She's the president of Tanzania.
Wow.
Yeah, and she said, leadership is about inspiring others to believe in their potential and rise above limitations.
Oh, that's good. I like that one. That's really powerful, especially, coming from her.
Right.
I mean, she became the first female president of Tanzania. Like, think about that.
Yeah.
That was not easy. There was like pushback and skepticism, but I don't know, I've always admired her leadership style. It's very collaborative,
Uh-huh.
It's all about nurturing talent, bringing people up. And I think that's what allowed her to break through those barriers and really empower other people. Like, she's a true example of walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
That's such a good point. I think about that a lot, how leadership can be so much more than just like being in charge,
Right, exactly. It's about creating a space, an environment where people feel like they can actually thrive.
Totally.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is a good time to remind everybody they can support this whole thing that we're doing.
Yeah.
This podcast, this deep dive.
Yeah, definitely.
Empowering women.
Yeah.
Through a donation to Latian Kirashu. And again, that number is plus 255-0682-505651.
So easy.
Okay, next quote. Ready?
Hit me.
All right. This one's from Titi Muhammad. She was a freedom fighter in Tanzania.
Wow.
And she said, women are the heartbeat of any revolution. We nurture nations and we fight to free them.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. I always think about revolutions being like, really masculine.
Right.
You always picture Che Guevara. But Titi Muhammad's quote really makes you think about, women's roles in these movements.
Totally. It shows how much we underestimate, and how multifaceted their roles really were. Women were critical to revolutions, like not just the logistical stuff or taking care of the wounded. They were fighting, They were strategizing, they were mobilizing communities, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, that quote just captures that hidden strength. Nurturing and fighting. You don't often think of those two things going together, but I guess they're intertwined,
Yeah, totally. And it like reframes the whole idea of what it even means to be a revolutionary.
Right, for sure.
Okay. Changing gears a little bit, we're going to music.
Ooh, okay.
This is Bibi Kidude. She was a legendary Tarab singer from Zanzibar.
Oh, cool.
And she said, music and culture are our strength. They remind us who we are and where we're going.
I love that.
Yeah.
And she wasn't just a singer, She was like a cultural icon.
Right.
And Tarab music, for Zanzibari people, that's not just entertainment, right? It's their history, their identity, everything.
Yeah.
So during times of change, political upheaval, all that stuff, Tarab was how they stayed connected,
Wow.
To their roots, to each other. And they found strength in that shared heritage.
That's so cool.
It's a really good reminder that even when everything's uncertain, culture can be that anchor, that constant.
It's amazing, right? That something is as seemingly simple as music can have such a profound impact.
Totally, totally.
Before we move on, I want to remind everyone you can support this mission, empowering women, through a donation to Latian Kirashu.
Yeah.
The number is plus 255-0682-50-5651.
Got it.
Okay. Let's go to our next quote.
Okay.
This is from Gertrude Mandela. She was a prominent Tanzanian politician, a huge advocate for gender rights.
Right, I know her.
Yeah, and she said, women's empowerment is not just a dream, it is a necessity for progress.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I know.
I love how direct she is.
Yeah.
Like, she's not begging for empowerment, you know?
Wow.
She's stating a fact. Progress can't have, I mean, not real progress, not if half the population is pushed to the side, you know?
Right.
And all her work at the Beijing Women's Conference, like, that was huge. It was about taking that message global, you know, making everyone understand, like, women's rights are human rights.
Yeah. It's a powerful statement for sure. And it really makes you think about, like, how we even define progress.
Exactly.
Okay. Moving on, let's hear from Winnie Mandela.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She was, of course, the renowned South African anti-apartheid activist.
Yeah.
And she said, "The struggle is my life. I will continue fighting for freedom until the end of my days."
I mean, you can't hear that and not feel something.
No.
I mean, Winnie Mandela's commitment to fighting apartheid, that was everything to her. She was in prison, harassed, exiled, I mean, you name it. But she never gave up. Never.
Yeah.
That quote, I mean, it's pure strength and resilience, which is basically like her whole life, you know?
Yeah. And it's hard to imagine just her level of dedication.
Right.
You know, it's almost unimaginable. And actually, listeners can be part of this movement for empowerment, too. You can donate through Latihan Kirashu.
Okay.
That number is +255 0682 50 5651. Yeah. Okay. Next, we have a quote from Michelle Obama.
The Michelle Obama.
Yeah, the former First Lady of the United States.
Wow.
And she said, "There is no limit to what we as women can accomplish."
I mean, that's powerful coming from anyone.
Right.
But from her especially, right? I mean, she broke down so many barriers herself. Being the first African-American First Lady, I mean, come on.
It's huge.
It's huge. And it speaks to the potential that I think all women have, no matter where you come from, what your circumstances are. And I mean, Michelle Obama's own life, like, that's a perfect example of that potential, you know? It's real.
Yeah. And it's a message that just transcends borders.
Right.
For sure. Okay. This next quote is from Wangari Maathai.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. She was the Nobel Peace Prize laureate and environmental activist from Kenya.
Amazing.
And she said, "The higher you go, the fewer women there are. Fight for your space and then help others climb with you."
I mean, oh, she's so brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a real quote. It's both pragmatic and idealistic. She's acknowledging the truth.
Right.
Like, there's just straight up inequality, especially the higher up you go.
Yeah.
But she doesn't just complain about it.
No.
You know, she gives you a plan. Like, fight for yourself. Yeah, get to where you need to be, but then you can't stop there. You got to help other people. You got to create a network of support.
Yeah.
Because that's how we actually change things, you know?
It's true. It's a good reminder that individual success is, like, never enough. We have a responsibility.
Right.
We have to lift each other up.
Yeah.
And you know what? Speaking of lifting each other up, this podcast is a great way to do that.
Oh, yeah.
You can donate to Latihan Kirashu. It's +255 0682 50 5651.
That makes sense.
All right. Next up, we're traveling back in time a little bit.
Oh, okay.
This is ᢰAsantewaa, the Ashanti warrior queen.
Warrior queen.
And she said, "If you, the men of Ashanti, will not go forward, then we will. We, the women, will."
What?
Pretty amazing. And that was during the Ashanti War.
I mean, just imagine the defiance in that statement.
Right.
Like, the Ashanti people were fighting British colonialism, and a lot of people were afraid to resist, you know? But ᢰAsantewaa, she didn't hesitate. She stepped up not just as their queen, but as a woman, as a mother. I mean, she was willing to risk it all for her people.
Yeah.
And those words, those were a rallying cry, you know?
Yeah.
Like a declaration that women weren't just going to sit back and watch their homeland be taken from them.
Yeah. It's a powerful image for sure.
It is.
Okay, next quote. Shifting gears again.
Okay, hit me.
We're going to global trade. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, she's the Director General of the World Trade Organization.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she said, "The best contribution women can make is to invest in their education and work hard to uplift others."
Man, she's such a trailblazer.
She is.
First woman, first African to lead the WTO. I mean, that's huge. And that quote, it just shows, you know, how powerful education can be. Yeah, not just for women themselves, but for their communities, for the world.
Totally.
Like, when women are educated, when they have the power to make choices, that changes everything.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that investing in women is investing in the future.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And actually, we can all invest in the future of this podcast.
Oh, right.
You can donate to Latin Kira Shu. Her direct line is +255 0682 50 56 51.
Cool.
Okay. And finally, we have Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie.
I love her.
I know. She's amazing. She's this celebrated Nigerian author, feminist.
Right, right.
And she said, "We teach girls to shrink themselves, to make themselves smaller. It's time to teach them to own their power."
Man, she's such a force.
Yeah.
And that's a call to action, we have to challenge those norms, ones that tell women to be quiet, to be small, to be less. It's time to unlearn all that.
Yeah. It's about reclaiming your space, your voice.
Exactly.
Your power.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
A lot of amazing women.
Yeah.
What are some of the common threads that you've seen kind of running through all of these quotes?
Well, definitely resilience. Like a willingness to fight for what's right. And also just like a commitment to their community.
Yeah.
I mean, these women are all different backgrounds, different countries, but they all believe in the power of women to create change.
It's pretty inspiring.
It is.
Well, we've come to the end of this first episode.
Already.
I know, it flew by.
Yeah.
But before we go, I want to leave our listeners with this.
Okay.
Whose voice will you amplify?
Mm-hmm.
Whose journey will you support?
I like that.
Let's all work together to create a world where we celebrate the strength of women everywhere.
Absolutely.
And remember, you can be part of that change. You can donate to Latin Kira Shu. That number is +255 0682 50 5651.
Amazing.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for listening.